The car's also been going left, up, down, just about every way except for straight, so it's far from a done deal, that is for sure.
That's an awesome way to start the day. Last night was a bit sweet. We thought we won the event, and last minute we clicked a cone right at the finish line. It's very disappointing, but today Daisy Delco Monaro came out of the blocks screaming. So yeah, I'd just like to thank RDW as our bracket sponsor. Really appreciate the support. Two-way cranes, Big Trans, Skip's Fire Service, a whole bunch of sponsors. I'll get to all of them during the day.
I'm sure they much appreciate the shout out. We'll let you get back and get ready for the next round.
Cheers, thank you very much.
There's the confidence from Sam Fennick. I'll mention my other sponsors when I win more races and get more interviews. How's the confidence there for Sam Fennick? But looking at the replay, that is Sam Fennick's run. You can't really fault that one. Straight in the centre of the lane, not a problem at all.
I tell you what's really interesting, that Burns went up and spin. I'm guessing they would have been sharing a lot of data between the cars. The cars aren't identical, obviously, but I was really surprised because I was actually going to mention before that run that being team cars, being in the same lane after seeing Sam Fennick get down with that 571, they would have been feeling very confident with that Burns car. But instant spin, that's surprising.
And it's interesting, that's actually the first time this weekend that we've seen any of the Slamers really go straight up into spin. We've seen shake, but we haven't seen a lot of spin right off the start, and that's an unusual one. It's maybe the track conditions throwing a little bit of curveball to these teams today. But it was the same in both lanes. We saw Craig Burns go up and smoke over in the Rapid Industries lane. We saw John Zapier go up and smoke in the Speedflow lane, both on opposite sides of the racetrack. A bit of a curious one there for the teams, and maybe a curly one for the tuners as we come into this first round.
Well, luckily it's the all-round format for Pro Slammer today, so they will get another shot at it later on. A couple of passes for all these Pro Slammers.
Alright, we're going to give you a live straight up.
And looking at the replay for Sam Afchar there, it most certainly has tossed the blow belt off it, so that's why the car
Century batteries now backing up here into that 570 zone in qualifying yesterday, so they've found a bit of form. Michelle Davies, you would say they have struggled a little bit this weekend in the Mustang.
And I actually passed Gareth and the kids earlier on, and I said to him, what happened? And he just shook his head and said, don't ask, and walked away. So I think that the frustration is pretty high for the Davies team. But that being said, he's not in their vocabulary. They will keep trying and trying to get this thing down the racetrack. And with some new sponsors on board as well, with ITF, Elite Performance, Newbie Engineering, and of course United Realty and Muscle Car Warehouse, they're looking to put on a good show here today.
Looking at this pairing, Benny Bray is very, very aggressive off the head. He's one of the highest launching slammers in the field. Watching Zapier go up and smoke in that lane, it'd be in the back of his mind because we know that Benny likes to get out very strong. He's usually he can go 960. 245 miles an hour. Ben Bray gets a win around Michelle Davis rolls through for an 8.22 second pass, 103 miles an hour.
Tell me what that was
Side until Davies had a bit of a drive job, wheels up in the air for the Mustang. It was neck and neck at that point, but then Ben Bray took advantage there as she got loose.
Anyone tell me what they just saw there and what the voice, the sound and the first two pairs.
Both cars got out okay, and for Shelley Davies, got out there, got into that shake zone, just started revving the tyres, and she pedalled the car, which meant she got off and got back on the throttle. And as she did that, she fed it back in, and the front end started coming up and made a jump over towards the centre line. Great drive job from Shelley Davies to catch that without it going across the centre line, because that thing moved in a big way very, very quickly. This is going to be the camera angle that shows
your car there, Rick.
You can see she got back into it, the front end came up, and it actually started spinning on one side.
Nobody's coming back to give me any feedback.
That was all she wrote. But for Ben Bray, he was flirting with that cell line all the way down to the finish line. And keep in mind, if he knocks over one of those blocks or crosses that centre line, that runs DQ'd. Everyone's a little bit lost to Michelle Davis.
Oh, you can just hear me, can you?
In the back of his mind as well.
Righto, I'll turn the volume up a bit.
Yeah, Benny Bray down the other end. 5'9", what do you think about that?
I'll set this up.
I softened it up today. Still struggling to get through low gear, but here's what it is. Got to get to the strike first to win races, and that's what we did today.
We're doing a bit of smack talk, for want of a better word. Meeting today.
It's not what we usually see from Ben.
He's focused. Yeah, that is a focused Benny Bray. And as you heard from me, he wasn't going up for a number. They just wanted to get a win here in round one. That's a team that has only one goal on their mind. There's a goal Christmas tree here in Pro Slammer. Okay, next up, Rusty, we have got Stephen Ham. He was scheduled to actually take on Peter Lovering, but Lovering is not here in the lane, so Stephen Ham will get a solo pass here in round one.
We did see a big supercharger explosion yesterday for Peter Lovering, so I'm thinking perhaps he's sustained some damage they may not be able to fix, or they may still be fixing back there in the pits with a view to come back out later on in the day. But for Steve Ham, first of all, guaranteed 20 points here, so he's going to get the win regardless, so he can really aim at in terms of the last time and try and get some of those bonus points. This is a big moment in terms of the championship. Of the weekend, 569 for Steve Ham. First one into the 60s, 256 miles per hour, and I do not think he's going to complain about that one little bit.
Put your hands together. At the moment, Stephen Ham's got maximum points. We've still got another pairing to come here in Pro Slam, about a 569 with the win. You've got to be happy with that, Rusty. Obviously, with the all-round format, we do have bonus points for low ET of each round of racing. So if you do get the quickest pass of this round of racing, you get 8 points. Second quickest pass gets 7 points. Third gets 6, so on. So those bonus points can add up, and they can make or break if you make that Gold Christmas Tree final.
100%, and I honestly would have thought that 571 from Sam Fennick, I thought that was going to be a benchmark. I thought I didn't expect to see anybody go too much quicker than that, so 569 from Steve Ham, that's pretty impressive. Very good job for him. And so we've got one pair left in this first round of racing, Russell Pavey and Paul Cannulli. Both of these cars obviously have all the goods, all the ability to run those numbers, but Paul Cannulli, we know he got very close to that last weekend at the winter warm-up, so don't think that low ET is locked away yet for this first round of racing. For Steve Ham, looking at the replay, there is not a thing you can complain about with that run. It went straight down the centre, very little steering input it required, it didn't really pick up the front wheels, it just did everything that it was expected to.
And you know what? That's going to give a vote of confidence for Russell Pavey behind him in that very lane. His lane choice, he's taken that Rocket Industries lane there, Russell Pavey. Our current points leader in Pro Slammer. Yeah, it is a huge race in terms of the championship here, up against Paul Cannulli in a brand new car.
New car to him.
He might be the lowest in the points coming into this event, but it is a big matchup for Russell Pavey. We've got Bryony down in the braking area.
PTP want to say hello to you.
Just going to catch up with Steve Ham. Steve, low ET so far for the weekend. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, we're here, mate. Hope you're well.
PTP want to talk, say hello to you.
I can't hear nothing.
No, I know. He just said, where's Ziggy? I said, he's here, mate. There you go. Part-time, he's there, mate, just for you.
Got me hoodie on.
It's stuck and down there in 561. That's a PB for us, so very happy.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is a really good start to the finals day at the Winter Nationals. What do you do from here? Explain the I guess the time you have between leaving the deep end here and getting back to the start.
Well, first thing is basically make sure we're on way, get back up there, and then pull the data out of the car and make sure that everything is honky-dory, and start servicing and figure out what changes. You've got to think about sunlight, weather, things like that, and it's got to be conservative, to win race day. You can't try and set go for 61 here or every lap, so we'll just put the game face on and see what happens.
Where's that?
He's still number one in the points. And this is a huge matchup. You've just got to focus on what is happening right now. Forget about what's happened previously over the weekend. You're only as good as your current class right now. And you know what, these guys, they were very consistent to get that first win back at the April event of the Final Thumb Series in Pro Slammer. They ran on the 580s. They showed more promise again, testing into the lead up of this event. It's just about finding that spot again, focusing, and getting the W here right now in round one of the Golf Coast and All Internationals.
And that's exactly right. It's not about setting the world on fire. It's about putting down a decent run and trying to get the win. Ross, 569 with a 6 for Paul Cannoli, 6003 for Russell Pavey. That is going to be really, really close. And in fact, he gets low ET points by 0.02 of a second. 0.02 of a second. What a run from Paul Cannoli. Put your hands together, Willowbank Raceway. What a round of Pro Slammer competition. And huge props as well, Russell Pavey, 6003, 238 miles per hour. He gave him a race.
He did. He and you know what? Russ had a chop of the tree again.
You know, chop of the tree. Red light.
You didn't see that red light on the sideline. Russell Pavey. He's been on fire all weekend at that Christmas tree. Just finding himself on that red side. But Russell Pavey.
What's the order?
Paul Cannoli with the
Next time you go down to bed, motherfucker.
5.69 seconds for Paul Cannoli. Look at the Golf Coast and All replay here, Rusty.
Good to see you there, man. What's the order?
He had some moving around. He had a bit of a drive job in that Mustang.
Well, and surely got near the concrete there, which is not the ideal situation in terms of traction. But look, for RDW Excavator Parts, that was Pro Slammer first round of racing. We will see all those cars back for the next round of racing in round 2. And Bryony's at the top end of the race. So we're very, very happy. Paul Cannoli.
Well, you can't see his face right at the moment, but as soon as he takes his helmet off, I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome because Paul Cannoli lost ET by 0.02 of a second.
It is time now for Noonan Ultimate Race Engineering Pro Alcohol, and we've got Wayne Price on track alongside Justin Walsh in what we've learned this morning is going to be one of the last times we see this car for a little while. Here is the battle ladder. Steve Reed will take on Cut Childs in the first round of racing. Justin Walsh will take on Wayne Price in the matchup that's on track right now. Gary Phillips to do battle with Cameron Beasy, and the final matchup of this round will be Jake Donnelly taking on Chris Hargrave.
Qualifying. These guys were 4 and 5 in qualifying. Walsh went 5.54, Wayne Price went 5.63. Walsh with the choice has gone left lane here, with the Price went speed right lane. The Alta, very consistent in qualifying yesterday, ran 5.55, ran 5.54. Insane off the start line. This thing is launching hard on track. It is the quickest pro car out of the blocks of all of them by far.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he's been consistent. The challenge
Wayne Price down there in a 5.54 with a 7. It is Justin Walsh backs it up.
Wayne Price had a bit of drive job down there, Rusty, in the braking area. He's moving around.
Absolutely. Wayne Price, you actually saw the relief panel and the body go sailing into the air. In fact, you can see it on track there. What that is designed to relieve the pressure when you have an explosion underneath the body so that it doesn't theoretically do too much damage to the body. But when it blows it clean out of the front of the car and about, well, I reckon that went a solid 80 feet into the air, you would dare say that there is going to be a significant amount of damage to that car. But for Justin and Walsh, not going to complain about that. He gets the win, 5.54. Having a look at the replay, keep your eye on the car right off screen. Got to about half track, and that was when it all started to go a little bit pear-shaped for Wayne Price.
Hello there,
Right about there, you can see the relief panel go sailing into the air. Look at that, it's almost twice as high as the scoreboards. When you actually look at where that is, that's a lot of concussion to relieve from underneath the
I'd like to see the braking area footage if we get that on the replay as well, because he had a bit of a steer job down there, so I'm not sure if he might have had some fluid under the rear slicks, but here we go, this front end shot here, to the left on screen in the funny car. Justin Walsh, perfect pass, fly passing that 9.30 to 60 foot. Wayne Price was 9.49 to 60 foot, so both cars very, very strong.
It's been a tough day, or a tough weekend, I should say. There you go, mixing up the cylinders. It's mixing up the cylinders, and once it does that, it really makes the engine happy. Pops the supercharger, gets a little bit out of the groove down there as he crosses the finish line, and in the braking area he certainly got a little bit loose and over towards the wall, but look, the main thing is he was still driving that car, brought it to a safe stop down there, and hopefully we can keep pushing on with the racing, because this has been an absolutely cracking first session for our professional categories.
That it has, that it absolutely has, and it looks like they're firing up the next pairing here at Brackville, so that's a good sign. That is a great sign here. We can see Stephen Reed in the funny car. He is focused, the body is going out. How would it feel? You don't want to be claustrophobic, do you?
Make some adjustments.
No, not at all. It's kind of like crawling into your letterbox and trying to drive at 200 miles per hour.
That is, I've never heard it described that way. So crawling into your letterbox and driving 250, you're talking 400 kilometers an hour inside the letterbox.
Here we go.
Thanks, Rusty, for the inside.
Wind's picking up a bit now.
Charles will be in the dragster over there in the Rocket Industries lane. Charles is good at some potential this race with Charles, but I had no doubt that they could pick up 1 or 2 tenths of performance in this dragster quite easily. Stephen Reed though, he's been there, he has done it. He's got more laps on board than the majority of anyone in this complex here at Willowbank Raceway. He was the only driver to get down the track last night in the cold conditions to a PB on our hand.
Yeah, that 5:42 last night was actually probably the run of the event for me. That was incredible conditions to hit the window the way it did. That was absolutely incredible. It's absolute credit to the team. And it's a different day today though. Qualifying is one thing. This is race day. Remember, for Pro Alcohol, this is eliminations. You lose, go home, because you're not going to make it. Let's just sit back, Rusty, and watch this pass unfold in front of us. Stephen Reed in the funny car, Callum Childs in the dragster, round 1 Pro Alcohol. Backs up the 5:42 from last night, and Steve Reed, you would be unwise to bet against that team today. They are on an
264 mile an hour.
5:43, great run for him. Backs up that 5:42 for Callum Childs, 5:83. I think he knew he had to have a shot at the tree, and it almost came off. 018 red on the tree.
Yeah, 5:80. I think he might have double stabbed the shot there. Callum Childs there on the hit. What a race, Bryony.
Absolutely. Well, Steve Reid into the semi-finals, along with this guy, Justin Walsh, into the semis of pro alcohol.
What flew off was the bed, wasn't it, for the roof? They let the smoke out. The thing that flew off the car before. Yeah. Was it the vent for the fucking smoke on the roof?
Steve Reid, Gary Phillips,
That's what it looked like, a big square piece.
It's just a line part of it.
Those cars, they have like a fucking.
Well, speaking of mixing it with the big boys, it's just been recently announced that you're heading into Top Fuel.
Looked like that flew off.
Yeah, look, it's an awesome day and probably a bit of a sad day, sad time for the team because they've got to leave behind us here and we get a park for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be out of a big show funny car by the end of the year, and with a bit of luck, I'm going to have one of my crew guys driving this. He's I've been putting it to him for a while, and he's on the fence, but he'll be driving this car soon to keep it in the series because I believe this car is for everyone to see.
Absolutely. Maurice McMillan did also mention that you said he could have a go in this car too.
Yeah, he's pretty confident he's going to have a go in it, but I think he'd be pretty bored in this compared to driving top for a funny car.
Right, we'll see you in the next round. Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, guys.
So, Gary Phillips rolling up to the line and just accepting the green light here, which is all he needs to do to take the win. For whatever reason, it looks like Cameron Ambesi has been at the front for this first round of racing, which is unusual because usually we'd think the field would be reseated and you put the first alternate in there. I'm not sure quite sure what's happened.
Unless Ambesi thought he could get the dragster ready and it hasn't happened.
Unless it was a late issue with staging lane or something like that. So, yeah, that's unfortunate that we do get robbed of a side-by-side pass here. But for Gary Phillips, he's a smart racer. He doesn't want to put any more stress on the car than what he needs to.
The only disadvantage by what Gary Phillips has just done, he will not have lane choice in the semi-finals up against either Jake Donnelly or Chris Hargrave in those funny cars. So that's the only disadvantage he really gets. Like, he gets an advantage, he's got a solo, doesn't put any team under pressure, but he will not have lane choice in the semi-finals. Will that matter? I don't know. The lanes are pretty good. I've noticed that this morning watching the pro sessions, it's pretty much 50-50 between the lane choice and people taking the line to the left. Yes.
I dare say,
it's interesting.
I dare say
Gotta keep it out of the
got enough data on this racetrack with all the runs that he's made over the years, and all the races that he's attended and won. Probably got enough data on the racetrack to get it down there. But that being said, still a big gamble for him. Still a big gamble, and he will be taking on either Jake Donnelly or Chris Hargrave in that semi-final matchup. And Benny, we've had a pretty good session first up here for the pro guys.
Yeah, exactly right. But there is something that started last night. We were just hanging around. We had a little bit of banter with one Jim Walton. This guy over here, 8 times Australian top fuel champion back in the day. And of course, he's had some leg injuries, and so he's got a little bit of a motorised car there. And then he started talking a bit of smack because his good mate over here, Jim Reid, who was a 3-time Winter Nationals champion, in fact, a champion in the original Winter Nationals, said, I'm up for the challenge. So we said, we've got a race, we've got everything. And then we said, we need a sponsor. And we've heard that somebody has come to the tune, we just want to wait for confirmation, somebody has put up $5,000 for this race for whoever wins it to their nominated charity. It is off the chart. What started off as a little bit of a laugh, Jim, has now got really serious. It's got serious, hasn't it? Yeah, it's a bit of a worry, but we'll see how it goes. Jimmy Walton over here was talking a bit of smack. 8 times top fuel champion across Australia. Do you think you've got what it takes?
Oh, yeah, we're all ultra drivers, mate. We're all fuel ultra drivers, Jimmy and I, and same name, and went through the 70s, awesome funny car racing, but fuel ultras, we started loving short wheelbase, 100-inch short wheelbase cars. So exciting in those days. 200 mile an hour with a short wheelbase car, nothing like it.
Nothing like it. Well, this is coming up at the end of the pro session today, and we want you to be very, very vocal about who you'd like to see cross that 60-foot line first.
I don't want to spread any rumours, but I saw Jim Walton putting a junior dragster engine into that car earlier on this morning. So I'm just saying, the 60-foot might be quick. Hope the wheelie bars are on.
Just remember Jim Reid's family have the All-Star batteries back in mind as well. There's some 48-volt battery or something there, I'm sure. You could look up.
Absolutely. And how good is it? $5,000 to their nominated charity for this effort. It started as a bit of a laugh, a bit of a joke. All of a sudden, it's got very, very real. But I can't wait for it. But let's go into focus on what we've got in front of us right now, and that is pro alcohol.
Speedflow lane, ran a 5:48 in that funny car run last night in the little pro shootout they had. Chris Hargrave qualified number 6 with that 5:71, as Rusty mentioned. They started off really well, the Hargrave team. A couple of little issues yesterday in qualifying, but it has been fairly positive. They've got some power there. They can definitely take it to Jake Donnelly. They haven't put down a full lap yet, even though 5:71 was with the pedal back off early.
Well, you've also got two of the best levers in the category here on the line together. Jake Donnelly has been absolutely chopping the tree down, and so is Chris Hargrave. Remember, there's $1,000 on offer with the best reaction time of the weekend in Pro Alcohol.
To tell you, Chris Hargrave has currently got that best reaction time in Pro Alcohol this weekend so far.
Well,
we saw Jake Donnelly go perfect on the tree though at a Win Nationals a couple of years back in the DBS Sports.
that is an upset. 6:01 for Chris Hargraves, takes the win, and he is moving on to the semi-finals. I think that's the first time he's moved on to the semis here with the Internationals, and that is an upset and a half. The number 6 qualifier takes out the number 3, and for Jake Donnelly, man, that's a disappointment after what has been a sensational weekend for them so far.
That's surprising. They haven't overpowered the track too many times in this funny car. Just up in spin off. He had a bit of shake up into spin for Jake Donnelly. Chris Hargrave, he didn't have a perfect pass either. He had to pedal that funny car to get the win. It was a real driver's job for Chris Hargrave as well. Looking at the replay, you can see the parachutes coming out, so that's an automated setup there. You do pop something. Chris Hargrave in the middies funny car. The 2 ex-junior drag racers as well, battling here on the track. Hargrave gets the win this time around. He goes through to the semi-finals in the middies electrical funny car, where he will face off against Gary Phillips.
Morning, mate.
And you might be wondering why the parachutes came out for Jake Donnelly there, but the car's obviously not moving too quickly. That's an automated system, an electronic system that's on these cars. They've got sensors on them, either the burst panels. Some of the cars have actually got sensors for oil pan pressure as well. When it gets too high, it'll actually shut the car off, pull the chutes out, just to try and save the car. And if for whatever reason the driver might be incapacitated, because if that happens at the other end of the racetrack, obviously you want safety to be the number 1 priority. But for Chris Hargrave, he's going to have a big smile on his face after that one. Moving through to the semi-finals in front of all the middies guys that are here this weekend as well, really representing his sponsors in a good fashion. And Chris Hargrave, congratulations to that team. They'll be back there and they'll be back for the semi-finals. Their reward is to take on the most successful drag racer of all time, not just here at the Winter Nationals, but in all of drag racing, and that is Gary Phillips. So Chris Hargrave, you can see him on camera there, still just trying to get his breath back as well. It's a big job driving these cars down the racetrack, especially when you have to pedal them, especially when you have to really work to try and get them to the finish line, and he's going to be a pretty happy boy, I would suggest.
Yes, Chris, well, I guess I've got some good news and some bad news for you. The good news is you're into the semi-finals of Pro Alcohol. Congratulations.
Thank you. How good's that, eh? We thrashed this weekend. We changed motors, we've done everything in the team. Can't help them, thank them enough. I want to thank Middies. They're always behind us, helping us. Royal Oils, the killer oils. Can't love them. The Magnet Towing get us up here. This weekend's already, it's grass. We haven't even started.
Well, there's somewhat bad news. It depends on how you're going to take it. Is that the person you're facing in the semi is Gary Phillips.
Gary Phillips, we take him all the same, but he is tough, yes. But we've always run him and give him a hard shot, so we'll give it everything we got and see what we get.
It's kind of like the rookie versus the experienced in some way. How do you approach a semi-final in Pro Alcohol against someone like that?
We just set everything up the best we can in the car, put the tune-ups right on, get my eye in the tree and just give him help.
Exactly. Love that attitude. Good luck for the next round, the semi-final.
No worries, thank you.
True. A lot of time between runs.
How good is the breath of fresh air that is Chris Hargrave? I mean, he's a guy who's been racing for many years, comes from the junior dragster category, as you pointed out, Mark. And it's just so good to see some of these young guys starting to get some success in the professional categories.
And you know what? I think he can take it to Gary Phillips later on. Not doing a pass here, getting data on today's track. That could be telling, for Gary Phillips.
Yeah, Chris Hargrave just got lane choice with the 6:01 against Gary Phillips. That's not something I thought I'd be saying coming into this round of racing. But Chris Hargrave, he's got it. He's got the advantage that he can choose whichever lane he thinks is going to work for him. And for Gary Phillips, I'm not saying he's on the back foot, but it's certainly not a position that he would be accustomed to.
Where's the fucking...
But we know Gary Phillips. He won't be stressed out. He won't be feeling the pressure. He's been there, done that. They know a lot more than us. That's why they're down on the track and we're up here in the commentary box.
We just talk about the people.
We just look at what we see and give our opinion.
Do the people who can't talk about it. And Brian, you're up there at the top of the racetrack with another one of our races.
Well, I wouldn't say racer, I would say a father of a racer. Steve, congratulations. Your son Chris is into the semi-finals. What a job.
It was really good. We wasn't the best run, but it got us the win, and that's all that counts at this stage. So we'll go tune her up and we'll go even faster, and we just really spun the car into the final.
Okay, when you say tune her up, explain to people that might not be too familiar with drag racing, 25 hours or less. Like, what does that mean? What are you looking at, and what do you do to improve?
Chris had to pedal the car, so it actually shook the tyres. So we need to make the car go a bit faster at that point on the track. So what we'll do, we'll just timing, adjust some fuel, and just step the car up some more horsepower to get it through that much without going too far. So we blow the tyres off and it goes up in smoke.
He's facing like a multiple internationals champion, Gary Phillips. Like, is this just a pinch me moment?
No, we've run Gary a few times and he's always beat us, so hopefully this will be able to.
Let's hope we get him in the ledger. We've got to get out of the way. Good luck.
Just very, very refreshing to hear that commentary from Steve Hargrave there, and the enthusiasm. You can tell they just love this. They love it. It's the biggest race of the year. They've invested so much in this category, so much in this sport. It's just fantastic to see them having some success. We're going to take a quick break here at the Gulf Western Oil Internationals. We'll be back with some nitro action up next. We've got Top Bike coming your way.
Design and manufacturing expertise, Noonan Race Engineering drives engineering innovation to the next level. With in mind, Noonan is recognized as a technological and innovative leader in high-end billet engine components, offering a range of billet racing engines, parts, and world record-setting turnkey.
Top Fuel motorcycle, he's in full stage.
654 at 207 miles per hour. That is a very, very solid pass for Mark Drew, and he gets the win. Chris Matheson unfortunately got really close to the concrete wall down there. I don't think he got it, but he certainly gave it a very, very good look. And for Mark Drew, that was straight down the centre of the lane. Front wheel was in the air. This is an example of just how spectacular a top fuel Harley can be.
They are insane. That was 333 kilometres per hour there for Mark Drew across the finish line. And Chris Matheson actually put out a really good stat during the week that at top speed, these bikes are covering a football field in 1 second.
Yeah.
100 metres in 1 second at top speed.
No roll cage, no seatbelts, nothing holding you on. It's literally just the riding style. Let's have a look at the replay. You can see Chris Matheson, the bike had the eyes for the wall right from the get-go. And it was at that point that he probably gave it up, and he's trying to move his body weight across, trying to get it to stay off the concrete. He didn't quite get there, but he certainly took his foot because I thought he was going.
Yeah, that's a really good example of how hard it is to move these bikes. And the players better than 100k now with there. For Chris Matheson, watch this. Just look at the work he's trying to do to keep that bike off the wall. Now imagine trying to do that when you're covering a football field in 1 second.
The bike went really straight. It started drifting a little bit towards the centre line at the finish line, but no problems whatsoever.
What do you reckon, Mabel? Are they going to wake him up?
Pro stock now, and this is again a little bit different from pro stock because it is the all-run format. But based on the qualifying list from yesterday, the round one matchups will be John Barbagallo taking on Wayne Daly. You can see them on track now. Brian Purcell with the solo pass. Then Cavallo and Scott Porter to do battle. Chris Soldados will take on Omar Sedmak. Further down the list, Aaron Tremaine and Mario Polito will race off, and the final pair will be Robert Deckert taking on Clint George. So, John Barbagallo, Wayne Daly, two guys who have had good runs this weekend, but not exactly great runs. For Barbagallo, we've seen the car back, we've seen a couple of 695s, but you've got to think that there's a little bit left in this car that I think they're just still trying to unlock.
Yeah.
I think you're correct there, mate. I think this pairing, the car they're probably going to improve the most is probably Wayne Daly. They've probably missed it a little bit more than Barbagallo so far this weekend. They've been focusing on that first 60 feet. They've been a little bit slow to the 60 foot around the 102 reach. You want to get down to the 100s. At all times in pro stock, 100 in sub 1 second. John Barbagallo, though, those guys have really hit the track running, considering how long they've been out of the seat for in this car and how long it's been since we've seen here at Willowbank Raceway. This is round one of pro stock at the Gulf Western Royal Internationals. Wayne Daly for Diamond T Custom Toolboxes. John Barbagallo in the Ford Escort for JB Automotive. He had the lane choice. John Barbagallo of that 695 in qualifying. Daly went 699. The win of the 704 at 189 miles an hour. Barbagallo rolls through for a 726 at 146 mile an hour. Barbagallo was in front.
Wow, those guys were absolutely welded together. Only 3 thousandths of a second separated them in the reaction times. 5 thousandths of a second separated them at the 60-foot timers. Only 3 thousandths of a second separated them at the 330-foot timers. At the 8th mile mark, it was only just on 5 thousandths of a second. That was a seriously good race all the way through. Unfortunately, Barbagallo had some problems at the top end of the racetrack, had to drop the chute early, but that was a great way to kick off pro stock.
Pro stock.
Let's have a look at the together. There was some reason Barbagallo dropped the chutes. Just didn't really make a mover, and he was just kind of drifting towards the centre. But just a good race there in pro stock, and that's a sign of things to come. Now, Brian Purcell was on track and he's on solo pass. Wayne Daly didn't exactly have a problem-free run there. He was way over towards the wall as well, had to drive it back into the centre of the lane. But a win is a win, and he takes the 20 points. I'm sure he'll take it after the weekend he's had so far.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Barbagallo felt a little bit unsafe out of the groove in the pro stock car and just, what, let's pull the parachutes.
It's been a while since he's been in the seat as well. Discretion being the better part of valour there.
That could be a really smart thing. So that's the signs of an experienced driver. As we move now into our next pass, it will be Brian Purcell, winner of the 2019 Internationals in pro stock for Angrove, Story Mackay, the Pontiac GXP. Now, this is a team that really haven't hit their straps this weekend. These guys are usually very consistent 6-second runs. They've only run a best of a 7:09 so far. They were our slowest qualifier, and in the all-round format for 400 Thunder, the slowest qualifier actually gets the bar run in the first round of racing.
Yeah, but he won't get the bar run for any of the other rounds of racing. So he's got to make this one count. And remember, the bonus points are on offer with 11 cars in the field. It does mean that the bonus points are going to come into play because you've got so many cars in the field, and you need to be quick, you need to be consistent, and you need to keep turning on that. Into the sixes for the first time this weekend. Only one chute's blossomed down there. Hopefully he can get that car stopped at the top end of the racetrack. In fact, the second one's come out now. 696, 196.27 miles per hour. That's a solid pass and an improvement of almost 1300ths of a second, which is massive in terms of pro stock.
Sometimes it only takes one pass to make a weekend, Rusty, and that could make this guy's weekend. Brian Purcell.
Don't forget, he knows how to the winter nats.
He does.
Good to have you here, mate.
Gonna let another guy who knows how to win internationals. It is Scott Porter. He's going to be taking. This is going to be a killer matchup. Scott Porter hasn't exactly had a problem-free run so far this weekend. Having to meet the drivers on the weekend, the guys at the top of the racetrack with our first winner in Pro Stock, Wayne Daly.
Yeah, congratulations, Wayne. Good job. Through, well, you get the maximum points, I should say.
Yep, thank you very much. It was a good race. Quite nice for John. We always go well together. And it's going to be a competitive class this weekend, and I'm sure they're going to right to the end.
I don't think
And
he's
just quickly,
fucking
John,
slept
the
for 3
commentators thought
nights
you
in a
might
row,
pull the
eh?
shoots early for
Hey?
safety, but no another reason.
Gear changer. Has he slept?
It was a
I think he's got a 2 hours last night. Fucking 2 nights before that, no sleep.
A bit disappointing for the crew.
Alive, buddy, brother.
It was really good flying. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Sleep when you're dead.
A bit too much credit there. It was a driver issue. But look, full
got that
credit to
luck,
John
mate.
Mack for
Sleep
owning
when
up to
you're
it as well. He
tired.
could have quite easily said, no, I was close to the centre line of the double shoots. I just wanted to keep shiny side up. But he said, no, made a mistake, hit the button. It is what it is. Anyway, Scott Porter on track now. Taking on Nino Cavallo. Both of these cars have been into the 6 second zone. Porter with the 6.99 comes in as number 7 qualifier. Nino Cavallo comes in as number 4 qualifier with that 6.95. And Nino Cavallo shuts it up early as well.
I think Nino.
You're not happy.
That one went pear-shaped. But drove through, clutched in there, runs through for a 10-second pass, gets the wing here. That's a bit of a weird race.
Yeah, keep me fine. Welcome,
Very strange race. There's a little bit to talk about here in this replay. Scott Porter, unfortunately, just absolutely bombed the tyre off the hit. Just not enough wheel speed. Shook the tyres really hard. You can see that it gives up almost half a second at the hit of the throttle to the first incremental timer. And once you do that in one of these cars, it's very, very difficult, near on impossible to try and recover. And Scott Porter, they'll roll it through. But the great thing is, this is your run format. He'll be back for the next round of racing, as will Nino Cavallo. And I'll be curious to have a look and see exactly what happened to Nino Cavallo, because you're right, it did shake a little bit and it sort of bobbled a couple of times, and then he was well and truly off the throttle by just on the quarter track mark. So yeah, a little bit of a strange one there, a little bit of a get out of jail free card for Nino Cavallo. He will get the 20 points, but he won't get the bonus points, or too many bonus points I should say, with a 10-second pass.
Yeah, so far lowest of the first round is by Purcell, that's 696, but yeah, it is all about the bonus points in this round of racing and next round of racing, so we can try and run for that gold Christmas tree in the final. Benny Bishop on the start line.
Yeah, the guy who's been, I guess, giving some advice over Brian Purcell. Happy with that?
Yeah, mate, yeah. We're running to the finish line on some of the stuff. We were making little changes, and it was the first time we really ran out of cut, and that left nice and flat. Plenty of wheel speed straight down the middle of the lane, and yeah, good start.
The Tingo Smash Repairs car, and for Chris Soldalis last night, it was an interesting run, because he got the car, he really, I don't want to say rushed through his process, but was very, very quick in getting the car into stage, and actually did the double bolt there in Tremaine. Now, whether it was deliberate or not, we're not sure, but there was...
I like staging line games, so if it was deliberate, awesome, bring more of it. Well,
within the rules, you can do it. It's not what you would consider gentlemanly race about.
That's all games, mate. It's about getting in the driver's
just being zig stuff at the moment.
100%.
Qualifying is one thing, but race day is another thing altogether. Now, for Omar Sedmak, hasn't got a lot of competition passes under his belt in terms of pro stock. We have seen a couple of start line issues for Omar Sedmak in getting the car into stage in the process, because these cars are quite difficult to get into stage because they are manually shifted. You launch the car off the clutch, but in addition to that, you actually have your finger on the lock button holding a certain amount of brake pressure while the car is in stage, and what that does, it actually stops the car from creeping through. So you're actually trying to do 2 or 3 things at once in these cars, not to mention hitting your shift lights, hitting your RPM shift points and everything that goes along with it. There is a lot going on in the 7 seconds inside these cars.
Sedmak moving forward. Round 7:08 in qualifying was our number 8 qualified Chris Soldalis, around 6:94. The thing that stands out to me is that 6:94 was not a full pass. He buttoned off early as well, so he's got a little bit more performance on board in this Teenage Smash Repairs Pro Stock up. Both cars in pre-stage. The rev really up. Doesn't
at 193 miles per hour. First round win for Omar Sedmak in Pro Stock competition, and takes down the number 3 qualifier in Chris Soldatis. Again, Soldatis looks like they just missed a tune up on that one on the start. Absolutely paddled the tyre. Not the first time that we've seen it in that lane. Of course, not Chris Porter, Scott Porter did exactly the same thing. So he's in good company, but nonetheless, it doesn't make a loss any easier.
We'll find somewhere to go have a fucking pipe later on.
Brian Purcell's is just looking more and more impressive.
Well, fucking
That's 696. It really is, isn't it? He's the only one that's gone down the track for leagues.
Yeah, that's
first
one.
round of racing. A former Winter Nationals winner.
We'll go to sit in the grass a little bit.
He's looking at good.
He'll watch up. He'll look after stuff. He'll look after your stuff.
The handle on the tune-up for this racetrack, and we'll see what round 2 brings, and see where he happens to land in the scheme of things. Because of course, being the all-run format, it is about putting wing lights on the board. It's about putting the points on the board. And look, based on what we're seeing in front of us at the moment, he's going to walk away with at least 26 points, maybe 27, maybe 28, depending on what happens in the next couple of pairs.
At the moment, Wayne Daly's got the second quickest CT with a 7:04.
And the third quickest DT is Omar Sedmak, isn't it? Yeah, with a 7:09. That's not something I was expecting to see. This is an intriguing session of Pro Stock.
Yeah, what's intriguing too is there's a lot of conversation over here between Peter Ridgway and Tyron Tremaine, and a couple of hands being thrown in the air and asking the questions. I might just interrupt the conversation and see what's going on. A couple of mysteries out of that one, Pete.
Well, you know, it's sort of interesting. It's cooled down today. The track has just been awesome. In fact, it's been too good. And I watched Porter's car, and the track was good. It just delaminated, put 2 bald spots in, so there was nothing there. So I just ripped the traction off. So he straddled the whole tyre across, thinking, okay, we'll be right. Maybe a few cars have done it.
Earplugs,
You go up there now there's 2 bald spots. So it's, I don't know, you know, really got back and down. This is just a different day.
Oh, that win.
100%. Very interesting. Very.
Well, the man who's going to have to take on the racetrack next up is Aaron Tremaine and Mario Polito, but Brian is at the top end of the racetrack.
Yeah, Omar Sedmak, you said I'll take it easy with you because it's your first event, your first time. You didn't go easy, though, 7-0.
He's got the dongle.
Hey?
He's got the dongle.
The dongle?
The internet will be running off it.
Yeah, right.
He walked away the other day and killed the stream.
Yeah, right.
I don't know where it could be, folks.
Yeah,
Oh,
third
never
lowest
mind.
CT. That's a pretty impressive
I'm going to take the dongle. I'll take the people for a walk. You're going to hold the fort.
Take the dongle.
Right, brother. We'll be back in a few minutes.
You going?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, I could go with Durry.
Yeah, taking everything, mate. Taking me.
Well, on track now is the
Take me medicine
second
bag.
matchup we've got in this first round of Glass Trade Center Pro
Try and
Stock,
keep
that
your
is
sail
Aaron
in.
Tremaine taking on Mario Polito. Tremaine racing for Next Gen Engineering, Polito for JD Concrete and MPS. This is going to be a good matchup because Polito actually ran a PB of 708, 192 miles per hour in qualifying, and Aaron Tremaine comes in as the number 2 qualifier with that 691.
It's interesting what Ridgway said about the track being too good, because obviously these cars like a little bit of wheel speed. When we talk wheel speed, it's actually controls speed, getting the revs up. When they're dead hooking, they're getting this, they're bombing down, getting shaped. That's the issue they're facing right now in round 1. 197 miles an hour with a 003 reaction time. Aaron Tremaine taking up down here in round 1. 2 words.
She's actually got a hell view of it.
Hey?
That's a great spot.
Yeah, it is, hey. Maybe we should do a bit from there. See how it looks. Yeah, it is a really nice spot to film from. Alright, which way? What's the goal? What's the agenda?
Where was that little grass area we sat on yesterday?
Over the fucking other side.
Right around the other side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we know, at least we know it's good.
Mate, that's the longest possible fucking furthest fucking point from where we are. We have to U-bolt around the whole track. There has to be something up here worthy of it, man.
Well, we've been playing Moses with Brian and that, and we put his back in and it performed good, so I'm happy.
Yeah, Mark, you're a racer. I want to ask you a question. Is a
The Happy Days Diner.
Looks like it's got alright burgers, mate. I'm pretty sure I'm getting a burger from there next.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they look big. I need fucking sustenance. I need fucking meat and bacon and sauces and cheeses held together with bread. Keep your fingers clean. These fucking McBeatles. Oh Christ, it's getting windy here, it's getting windy. Where's he going? Where's he going? Free books. Some of them AM fittings, I love some of them AM fittings, but they're expensive as shit. Nick, you. How's the fucking wind, people? Is it unbearable here? Yeah, big burgers, man. That's the criteria. Oh man, they got a nitro. Fucking rude, I'm trying to talk. They got a nitro demonstration, nitro car demonstration. They start up and you can fucking burn your eyes and your nose out for free. Stings like a motherfucker. No one, I mean no one can stand it for long enough. Where we go? What's going on? Oh, under here, yeah. Fuck, I should have brought the tripod, Jesus Christ.
I'm putting your jumper back on, I know that much.
Yeah, mate. I don't know how am I gonna fucking do this.
I'll be looking out.
Have to prop it up somewhere. Will you prop it up in that corner there? You wanna fucking, maybe not.
We're gonna have to do that first.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, there, man. That grey building. Yeah. Fucking, I'm learning my way around here. I'm pretty sure I can give tours around here now. And I'm a bit fucking retarded when it comes to geological directions. I mean, something I can't do. Just a bit slow with it, that's all. Melanie, welcome. Cigarette first. And toilet for Ziggy Skeleton Timothy, Jim Beam can for the fucking car. Oh, I helped him with half of one. Well, I'm a good friend like that. Shit. Better not drop my fucking Gears phone. It's probably more expensive than mine. So here we are, Queensland Raceway. Listening to the bikes now, I think. Going through the categories pretty quickly, soon as the field's getting smaller and smaller. But I'll show you this thing, it's fucking cool as. Oh, I just fucking busted me slipper. Oh. Look at this fucking thing. How sick is this? I'd drive this. Chevy. Fucking cool as that, bro. Nice and low too. It's got them fucking truck wheels. Twin cab, big flag. Nice 10. Dude's got style. Even painted his checker plate gold to match.
What time's it wind up the sub, you reckon? 6-ish?
Don't know, mate. They're going through them quick, and I'm wondering if it might finish early, you know? I reckon they'd always try and finish it early on a fucking Sunday, man, just in case they go over. Like yesterday, people's big crash. Like, everybody likes to see a crash, but it gets to a point where it's like, okay, just stop now. Fucking, I don't want to see fucking arms and legs get shot out of a car. But old mate was alright, he walked away. He walked to the ambulance.
Yeah, true, he did.
As you said, I think, was it you or Nexus that said, fucking, they're built well, mate. The cages and them things, they're fucking, you're like in a fucking, just a hardened shell. You watch the F1 cars, they're even better. Good to have a cigarette, but fucking need a pipe, really. There's no substitute. Ziggy's alright. We smoked a fatty before, no one was looking. Meant to finish at full. Yeah, right. Yeah, that'd make sense. Y'all probably want to watch the bikes.
Yeah, see you got the corner.
Fucking see him shoot past. Try and get a bit of a wind block with this car. Yeah, she's getting a bit windy in the open.
That's going to be a good race with Luke Crowley in the semi-finals. We haven't seen Luke Crowley out on track just yet. He'll probably be the last pass here on Pro Bike.
This has been one of the most competitive Pro Bike brackets that I think we've seen for a
I don't want to smoke near the kids.
It's a really good field this weekend.
That's the rules.
In the field, our next pairing out will be Andrew Badcock and Mark Hancock. Now, Andrew Badcock qualified in number 3 spot. Hancock was in the number 6 spot.
We'll look after the littlies.
Look at that replay here, was the previous class. You can see down the right lane, it started to spin. He actually was able to recover the bike. He was able to get back onto it, but then obviously went towards the wall. Tony Frost, though.
No, that was a really solid run for Tony Frost because the bike really started moving around and we got over near the center line. And I think that's actually the first full
Doing a hell of a burnout down there, man. It's just all smoke. Wish I could zoom in with this thing. I probably can, but I don't know how.
The finish line, so that is a big shot of confidence for the man.
That is a huge burnout.
We've got 2 veterans on the line now in the form of Mark Hancock and Andrew Badcock. Andrew Badcock, a best run of a 7:39, which that's a PB for that team. That bike is performing flawlessly this weekend. Mark Hancock, a little bit of work to do with a 7:87, but he's been consistent. He's going to make Badcock really have to work hard to beat him. Both bikes in stage now. The number 3 and 6 qualifiers in this field. Big hole, should have been spinning by Hancock. He got through it though. 63 for the win, Andrew Badcock. Look at the in the green area. It may have been removed there.
763, 172 mile an hour.
Andrew Badcock gets him over left hand car goes through with a 953, 127 miles an hour. It was not a clean classic. Got a bit of spin off the hit.
This is travelling band.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was singing some shit. It was driving me nuts. I was looking for me smokes. I thought I lost them. I'm like, I don't need to listen to this. What do you want to do?
Roll splits or what?
Yeah, I got the bike. You want to go for a walk all
Yeah, let's get that walk.
Let's go for a walk.
Show them, see the band.
Yeah, mate, that oil did catch up the fucking gear. Probably not sleeping at all for 3 nights in a fucking row probably helped too. Mate, sleeping in the sun, a bit of breeze on his face, fucking nitro cars going past. I'm not even going to try and wake him.
Gonna get a good suntan.
Yeah, better roll him over later. I'll roll him over every 2 hours. We need a buggy like that at work. The girls, the Asian girls can drive it. We can put teriyaki boys on. bit of fucking Tokyo Drift. I'm happy with it. Just a simple Polaris, just a base model, get me around. We got some serious fucking equipment down here, man. Wombats, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, you like the 57? I like both. Losing Ziggy. Ziggy's like hard to fuck up, man. Stop filming cars. Here we got something good in here. Sneaking here. Not the Ford, not the Ranger. Different Ford. Ford fans. Here it is. Here it is. That. Hey gents. Good, thanks. So you want to shoot up one of the sides too?
Yeah, we'll have a look, yeah. Little travelling PA on it and everything.
I need that at work. I'll just follow the tractor. Put the dunes on for the Asians, yeah. I love it. How good is it, people? Is what you're missing. Codes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's in fucking neutral at the moment. Not changing gears. We're gonna get run over by a quad. Oh no, he's pulled in. Pulling the drag bike with it too. That's what we want. That's what we want to see. These boys are serious hard at work. This thing is a serious machine. It hurts you when it goes past. It's offensive. Hey, new spark plug on that little thing. How you going, gents? I'm in risk of losing Ziggy, but just trying to wake this GoPro up. So fuck with that. This looks cool. Righto. Taking his jacket off, I know that much. Never get hot doing that. That's that Mustang thing we've seen before. Oh yeah, we're all over this, man. This is the JZ motor in this. Let's go, look at them all. They got the front of it. Oh, they got the front of it. Oh. Inline 6-cylinder. We all love a good V8, yes, that's true, but Australia was built on the inline 6. And this just happens to be a Japanese one, but if we knew where the barrel was, it'll be in a back street somewhere. We waited and waited yesterday to see it, but that's okay. What happened to that? Do you know, Autos? Has he run? Is he going to run again? Oh, he quitting. Thought we were going up a side street for him.
I haven't seen the side street with that here, so I'm just doing it here.
Yeah, righto. Righto, we've quit. We've come to the inevitable. Oh, I fucking rolled my ankle on the fucking. Oh.
Just keep your eyes open a little bit, while I'm distracted.
Yeah, well, it's fucking, I don't know, mate. There's kids, there's people and kids on the other side of this here, man.
Just get a roll with it, and we'll go from there.
Righto. Yeah, we've been fucking doing a bit of walking the last fucking 3 days. We have been
hanging out under the bleachers.
Yeah, this is our scene, man. Hey, this is our fucking scene. You know about under here, Ali, or you and your
cheerleaders under the bleachers.
Listen to cheerleaders. I'm not ready. I'm getting like old gear change, right? Can't fucking hear the cars anymore. It's on the pad in line. Next batch, barrel racing in the next batch. Yep. Yeah, we'll hang around for it, and then after it goes through, we'll go for a walk, because we've got to go back that way anyways. It was a fruitless fucking walk, but at least we know.
What time did you just get it done?
I don't know, mate. There's a fair bit of time between them. All I know is it's on the pad, it's already on the pad. Yeah, but it was on the pad yesterday. And it races in the next batch. He's 6th in line on the right side. So that was one that went past. With 5 more, maybe not. We were pushing close. We can wait for fucking 4 or 5 now. By the time we get up there, there'll be 1 or 2 past. Let's go. I want to catch it.
Alright.
Yeah, you're right. No rush, no rush. I didn't realise you were still.
I could probably just sit there actually as well. Where were we a bit further down?
Hey. Fair bit further down, mate, yeah. We've got to check up on our gear and our gear. Black Knight. Oh fuck, I fucked up the GoPro. Or the stand. But these guys back. Hooligans. Need a fucking gimbal. I walk like a rasta. Hey. There you go.
Gets the win for
Wilshire.
Good
but
stuff.
Don't you love a staging battle? Ladies and gentlemen, that is old school pro stock style. No one was going in. Royce had to do his best Buster Couch impression and point of his. I've got the biggest smile on my face. I love a staging duel. That was fun to watch. No one wants to go
He wanted to get everything that he possibly could. He forced Colin Wilshire to go outside his routine, stage the car first, and really put the pressure on him. That was absolutely sensational. Benny, what a race!
That was unbelievable. I was thinking, come on, guys, let's just get off with this. Just build Speaking of tension, the tension is continuing to build over this motorised car. It is unbelievable, the stats between Jimmy Watson and Jimmy Reed, and we found out the beneficiaries are going to be these guys, which is, you can see out there, Wounded Heroes Australia. So good to have you here, Martin Shaw, the president. Thank you so much for joining us. And $5,000 has been put up as a donation to whoever wins, and they're going to pass it on to you guys. How cool is that?
Amazing effort, mate, amazing effort. We look after homeless veterans around Australia. We looked after 1,800 last year, and, you know, everything.
Well, no pressure on Tony.
Yes, the individuals and the whole concept here has been fantastic for us, and we're really enjoying the partnership and creating awareness that we can find veterans in crisis, we can help them. So please reach out to us, and the donation is a true donation. It allows us to look at accommodation for emergency accommodation for homeless veterans and their families, and that's the most critical part for us.
It's so good. Appreciate it. We'll talk more about it, Danny and Ronnie.
Colin Wilshire, a bit of a different strategy going on there, some mind games?
Take off my jacket.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, like, I can bump him real fast and easy, so I was waiting to do the right thing. But anyway, it is what it is, and you smell a bit of hot auto floor there, which is what I think he wanted on the other side of town. But anyway, it's all good. Racing's racing, it's what we do. But we're here to have a good time. We got the win, so that's the main thing.
Yep, no, into the next round.
Into the next round.
Good job.
Thank you.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Colin Wilshire there. And, you know, it's all in good stead. You know, it's all in sportsmanship. It's all part of the rules. But nonetheless, there's definitely a bit of feeling in some of these interviews down there at the top end of the racetrack. Now, Zora Gadzik is here. He's supposed to be taking on Stu Walsh, but Stu Walsh nowhere to be found.
Yeah, not sure what happened there with Stu Walsh. That's unfortunate. Obviously he won Pro Mod last year, the 2021 Gulf Western All Winter Nationals. He won't be doing it 2 times in a row. This time, though, Zora Gadzik will go to the semi-finals. He will take on Greg Saccarini. He's now another 588 with a 0 this time. That is the quickest pass of the weekend so far in Pro Mod by 1/1000th of a second.
Pro Mod is tight this weekend. This is absolutely sensational. Looking at these semi-final matchups, Colin Wilshire will be taking on Jeremy Callahan. Both of those guys have run into the 5-second zone. Callahan with a 588, Wilshire with a 597. And the other semi-final matchup will see Zora Gadzik take on Greg Saccarini with only 0.02 of a second separating their runs in the first round of racing. That is fantastic to see. And by the look of it, we are going to have the pro alcohol non-qualifiers coming out now for a quick matchup, and looking at the replay for Zora Gadzik, it pretty much did everything that they wanted it to do. It looked like it made a little bit of a movement around about half track right there. Yeah, stepped out. Did a good job of driving, kept the foot into it, and he will go on through to the semi-finals here at the Gulf Western All Winter Nationals.
You know, when a car steps out like that at that sort of speed, you probably cover 40-50 metres in that time. It really puts it into perspective. Doesn't look like it's
Way to roll the burnout, man.
racetrack now in the Badlands. Power car taking on Brett White. These two were the first two ultimates in this Pro Car field. Unfortunate for them because Brett White come out with the challenging month that they have had. They were there or thereabouts, but just missed out.
I don't want to go into the pits just in case we miss him on the track. Because we're on the far side of the track nowadays. So I have to walk all the way around.
Brett White so close to qualifying.
My luck, we'll be on the track.
576 as well.
Yeah, they ran identical to the thousandth of a second. They
missed out on racing by 100th of a second in Pro Qual. Yeah, the number 8 qualifier was a 574.6. So it wasn't even 100. It was 8 thousandths of a second they missed the field by.
And it looks like Brett White's having a little bit of issue getting it into forward gear. There we go. It's just dropped in now, and they're lining the car up. And look, I'd just love to see a good solid pass pop up on the boards here and get a good number and set them in good stead for the rest of this 400 Thunder Championship. Because next time we see these guys on track, I think it's going to be Sydney in November, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it'd be good to see like a couple of 560s side by side here in the funny cars. Let's just test out.
Happened to Wayne Price. I think they went over the weekend and for Roland. Yeah,
I might just went over the second one.
Yeah, that was a big concussion. The replay from this is actually going to be pretty spectacular because we had the boom cam down there right on the spot. And
look in the front end of Roland's car. It looks like there might be a little bit of damage there.
Yeah, I think we want to take the cone. So an eventful run there most definitely for Brett White and Mark Roland. But let's have a look at the replay.
Hope Tony's out soon, Mel.
An ultimate race engineering and Pro
left on the
and for Brett White. By that point, the burst panel, the relief panel was already sailing high and dry. And for Brett White, this is going to be the one that shows it. It looks like it didn't really do anything strange. It wasn't really shaking the tyres, and then it just bang. It popped hard and fast. And let's keep our eye on Mark Roland and the Valvoline Superpower car through the top end of the racetrack.
That's what I saw. Yep. I thought it might have been the burst, but it was actually the timing blocks.
Yep, hit the cones.
Across, yeah.
Hit the cones there just for something different. We've knocked down a few more cones, and we'll have one more look at this off the start line. The camera, it is spinning. It was a huge concussion. You can actually see the body pop out on the sides. That does just about round out our professional categories for their first round of racing. And Benny Bish, you're down there on the start line with what is going to be one of the most entertaining matchups that we've got here at the Gulf Western Royal Winter Nationals.
You can already hear the crowd that are excited about this. How are you loving these Winter Nationals? So what started as a funny little idea last night to fill in some time has now escalated, and thanks to Santo's cranes, Santo got on the phone last night. He said, I just saw those two legends talking about having a race on their motorised carts to 60 foot. I want to pay $5,000 to the winner. I said, Santo, they're not going to take the money. He said, well, just give it. I want to see $5,000 to see who gets the win out of these two legends. On the left, we have a 3-9 Winter Nationals champion. Put your hands together for legend Jim Reed.
Can we get this thing swapped out and get started back up quick?
On the right, we have the 8-time Australian Top Fuel Funny Car champion.
Well, they're being dickheads. We'll swap the battery out. Yeah, I know. You ready to do that? Does it want to get it going?
Up to see Martin Shaw at the 60-foot mark. In today's language, that's 18.23 metres. And that is our start time. He has the Gulf Western flag ready to judge who gets the win. Regardless of who gets the win, it's $5,000 going to this wonderful, wonderful organisation that we spoke about.
Righto guys, we're going to swap the battery out, but we will be back ASAP. You might not get a notification, you might just have to scroll through your stream.
And
look for the new live when we drop out.
Ready to see them race?
They're doing a
I'm going to ask again.
mobility scooter race now, so this should hopefully give us a few minutes.
No, it's time to bring them into stage. It'll be a quick tree, so it'll be just one flash of the ambers and the